Hello everyone, welcome back to Logical Kanika, where we make tech concepts easy and make learning fun. Today we are diving into one of the most super interesting and powerful topic in SQL, window functions. It is very powerful when you are working on data manipulation or data analysis. When you need to do things like ranking rows, calculating running totals, or maybe performing complex aggregations without losing the details. That is where SQL window functions come into play. And also, let me tell you, this is the most favorite topic of the interviewers. And in any of the interview, you will definitely get one or the two questions on window functions, how you can use them and why you should use them, and what is the other way or the alternative way of doing that SQL query, as a like with the window function and without the window function. So do not worry, we will be covering all of these topics in this video. So stay tuned. All right, so what are window functions? Formally speaking, window functions use values from multiple rows to produce values for each row separately. In other words, they perform calculations on the set of rows related to the current row. So that set of rows is known as window, and hence the name is window functions. So this might sound like aggregate functions, but there is one significant difference. Window functions, unlike aggregate functions, keep individual rows while adding calculated values. So basically, while a standard aggregate function reduces the number of rows to match the number of categories to which the data are aggregated, the window function does not change the number of rows. So instead, that window function assigns the correct value to each row of the data set, even if these values are the same, right? So to better understand, let's go ahead with to better understand the difference. Let's go ahead with an example. But before that, let me briefly explain you the syntax of the window function. Okay, so let me briefly explain you the syntax of a window function. So we will write window function over partition by followed by a column name, then order by again followed with a column name, and you can close your parenthesis. So this is a common and mostly used window function syntax. But if you want to add a row specification or a range specification, you can just add after the order by clause by writing rows or range frame specification. Okay. All right, so now let me explain you each of these keywords. So window function could be any window function. So for example, rank, dense rank, or a row number. Then over is a very mandatory clause because this will define the window function's window. So this is a mandatory clause. Without this, the window function will be incomplete and it will not act as a window function. So say for example, if you are using any aggregated function, average, sum, count, etc., and if you are not using over, then that means you are using only a standard aggregated function and not a analytic or a window function. And then it is followed by a partition by. So partition by is an optional clause, and if partition by is defined, that means the window function will be executed on each partition or each group separately. Order by is again, it's an optional clause, and it helps window function in telling that in which order the function is to be executed on the entire data set or on the partition if it is defined. Then rows and range, as I've told you, again, it's an optional clause, it's not a mandatory clause, and it is used to define the subset of rows within the partition. So this is just an overview of how a window function can be written, just a syntax wise. So now let's understand with an example where we clear the difference between the aggregate function, how we can use a standard aggregate function and a window function. So now let's say, for example, we want to find the average salary of employees. So let's say, okay, let me just remove this. Let's say we have an employee table. So let me just pull out the details for employee table. Select star from employees. Okay, let's execute this. So here we get employee ID, name, department, and salary. So now say for example, we want to find the average salary of the employees. So we can just simply write select average salary from employees. So now this aggregate function, what this aggregate function will do, this will average out the salary of all employees, and it will be applied on the entire data set. And for each of the value, it will be averaging out on each of the value, and it will give you only one value, like one row with the average salary. So let me just execute this. So here we get the average salary as 59,000. Okay. So this is the average salary of the employees. Now let's say we want the average salary for each department. So we can just simply use the group by with the aggregate function. So we can just simply do it like select department, comma, average salary, okay, from employees, and we will group it by the department. So this will give us the average salary of each department. Now let's execute this. And here we get the department wise salary, the average salary. So again, we are not getting all of the columns, like all of the records for this employees table, but only the department and the average salary per department wise. Okay. Now let's say we just don't want to lose the detail of all of the tables, but also we just want the average salary. So what we can do is we can just simply use the aggregate function, and we can combine it with the window function by using the over clause. So let's see, select star, and you will write average of salary over, and we wanted to group it by the department. So we will use partition by department. Okay. And you can state like order by, or it's again an optional clause. If you want to use it, you can use, but since we are just averaging out, so need not to use the order by clause. So we can just close it over here. So select star, comma, average salary over partition by department, and we give it it as an alias as average salary. Okay. All right. From employees. Now let's execute this. And here, so here we get all of the employee ID, name, department, like all of the rows and the columns, and the average salary as well for each department. So did you notice that all of the average salary for all of the rows, it is same per department, it is not changed. So this is what window function does. So it averages out all of the like the salary for each department, and assigns each row with the same value. So for finance, department, the number of records whatsoever we have, each record has the same value. And so is the case for HR department, right? And again, so is the case for the IT department, right? Now let's start with the simplest window function, row number. So this function assigns the unique number to each row within the partition or a window. This numbering starts from 1 and it goes to it goes sequentially within the window or within the partition. So now let's say we want to assign the row number to each employees within the department. So we will write select, let's say name, department, salary, and we want to assign the row numbers to each employee. So we will write row number. Let me just write that over here. Okay, row number over partition by department, and let's order it by salary in a descending order, as in highest to lowest. So order by salary, descending. Now let's give it an alias, say row num, from the table employees. Okay, now let's execute this. So here we get the all of the details without losing like the rest of the details like name, department, salary, and also we are getting the row number, which is for each department, for each particular unique number is assigned to each row. Here you can see for finance, it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we have 7 employees in the finance department. So again, the numbering will start from 1 for the next department or for the different department. So is the case for IT. Now let me tell you something interesting, that using row number we can also identify the duplicates. If any table has duplicate records, then we can simply identify duplicates using this row number, and we can simply delete those duplicate records, keeping only one single record in the table. So now let's see how we can identify the duplicate records using this row number. So for that, I have already created one table which has the duplicate records, which is employees 2. Let me just pull out the data for you. So we will write select star from employees 2. Okay, let me just execute this. So it has the duplicate records. I just inserted the records twice, so it has in total 10 records, and 5 are the unique and 5 are the duplicate records. So now let's see how we can use this row number to identify the duplicates. So we will write select name, comma department, comma salary, comma row number over partition by. So now we will be partitioning it with all of those columns that I have written, name, department and salary. Why? Because to identify the duplicates, we should use all of the columns, because using all of these columns, we will easily be identifying the duplicates for the whole row, not just for the column. So over partition by name, let me just copy it from here. Sorry. And order by, we can just simply order it by salary, and let's give it an alias as row num from employees 2. Now let's simply execute this. So here we get the name, department, salary, and the row number. Now you can see that each record has the row number as 1, 2, 1, 2. Why? Because these are duplicated twice, so it will sequentially give the number of the first record as 1, and if it is repeated twice, then it is 2. And let's say if we have 3 records having the same values, then it will be 1, 2, and 3. So this is how you can identify the duplicates. Another way to use it with a CTE, to simply identify that how many number of records we have which are duplicated. So just use it as a CTE. With CTE as this, and you can just simply write select star from CTE where row num is greater than 1. Now let's execute this. So here you can see we got all of the details of the from the table employees 2, which has duplicate records. So only the row num, only the records having the row num 2 will gonna be appear, because I have given a condition, because I have used the where clause with a condition which is filtering out on the row num. If the row number is greater than 1, only that records will be appeared. Now how we can delete those records from this table and keeping only one record. Okay, now let's see. Again, we can just do it by using this CTE. So instead of selecting, I will be writing delete we'll remove the star. So delete from CTE where row num is greater than 1. So what it will do, it will delete all of the records having the row number as 2 and keeping the row number as 1. So let's execute this. All right, so I get an error. Let me just display the error for you. So the error says the target table CTE of the delete is not updatable. All right, so in MySQL, CTEs are not updatable, or you cannot delete any record from the CTE directly, since CTE are read-only expressions. So let's see if there is any workaround. Still we can use still we can use this row number to delete the duplicate records. So to to delete the duplicates using this row number, let's see for a workaround. Okay, let's see how still we can delete the duplicate records. So instead of directly deleting it from CTE, we will forcibly delete it from the employees table, and using a subquery, giving it a condition which uses the CTE. So okay, let's see it, like from employees to, and instead of writing this where condition directly, we can just write where employee ID or the emp ID in. Okay, but we are not using the employee ID in the CTE. So let's tweak this query a little bit. And instead of writing these columns, we will just simply write the employee ID, and we will order it by the employee ID as well. Let's see. Okay, so now we have tweaked our query a little bit, and it says like that with the CTE, we will be selecting the employee ID, and we are using again the window function as row number, and we are partitioning it by the same number of columns that we used earlier, as in the name, department, and salary, and we are ordering it by the employee ID. So now we are deleting the records, the duplicate records from the employees to table, where the employee ID that lies in the CTE table. So let's see, in select employee ID from the table CTE where the row num is greater than 1. So we are not directly deleting the duplicate records from the CTE, but we are using a subquery to delete the duplicate records from the employees to table. So let's execute this. And yes, let me just show you the result. Okay, I'm sorry. So it says that the query is successful. Let me just query the employees to table to see whether these duplicate records are deleted or not. Okay, now we can simply see that all of the duplicate records are deleted. So each of the employee ID having the row number as 2 will, will be getting deleted. So this is what just exactly happened. Okay. So it's a note here, guys, that we cannot just directly delete, or we cannot just directly update the CTE tables directly. So instead that we have to use a subquery method. Now let's move to the next window function, which is rank. It is also used for the ranking of the rows, but the difference is, if let's say if two records have the same values, or if two rows have the same values, then the ranking would be same for those two values, and the next ranking would be skipped. All right, so let's understand this with an example. Let's use the employee table for this. So we'll be writing select name, comma department, comma salary, comma rank over. Now we will be partitioning it by the department, and let's say we ordering it by the salary as in the highest to lowest again, and we give it an alias as RNK, as in the rank, from employees table. All right. So now, if any of the value have the any of the column have the same number of value, then it will receive the same number of ranks, and the next rank would be skipped. Now let's understand. All right. So we got the details. We got the output. Let me just fetch it out for you. So now the rank is divided into the partition as finance, HR, and IT. Now let's understand the rank. So it says rank 1 for the highest salary. Now rank 2 is given to the second highest salary, which is 80,000, right? And you see the 80,000 is of the salary is repeated twice. That means two records have the same value as 80,000. So these two records get the same number of rank as 2 and 2. And the third highest is the 70,000. But it does not get the rank as 3. The next rank, so it's 1, 2. The sequentially it should be 3, but it gets skipped because we used the rank function. It is getting skipped, and we got the third rank as number 4. Not the number 3, but the number 4. So you understand, by using this rank, we are ranking the rows on the basis of their salary and on the basis of their partition as the department, but the same values will get the same rank, and the next rank would be skipped. So this is what rank does. All right. Now let's understand the next window function, which is very similar to rank, which is dense rank. But the only difference is, in rank the next rank is getting skipped, but in dense rank we it does not get skipped and we get the sequential order. So let's just use the same query and just replace this rank with a dense rank. Okay. Now let's see how does the output be looks like, and let me just give an alias as D rank. Okay, let's execute this and let me pull out the result for you again. So now again the rank are divided in on the basis of the partition as department and on the basis of salary highest to lowest. But now you will see the again 90,000 get the first rank, 80 gets 2, and again it's same, so both of these value will get the same rank, but the next rank should be 3 and it is 3. So it is not 4. The highest the third highest salary gets the third rank and not the 4 rank. And that's it for today's video. We covered what SQL window functions are, and we looked at some of the most popular ones like row number, rank, dense rank, and how you can combine window functions with the aggregate functions to do amazing things. Well, there are other SQL window functions as well, like lead, lag, init value, first value, etc. If you want me to cover them for you, let me know in the comment section below. Well, we see these SQL window functions are super helpful and super powerful. Once you start using them, you will see how much they are simplifying your SQL queries. If you found this video helpful, do share this video as much as you can and subscribe to Logical Kanika. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy querying.